All right, everyone. Episode 4 of the Sesh podcast. Today's guest is Jack Darling, 2018 premiership player, 2019 All-Australian. I think you led the goal kicking 4 times as well. Mate, thanks for coming on. I know it's been a bit of a while to organise this, but thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It's probably my first podcast.
It's your first one?
Excited, especially in the sauna.
Yeah, right. How good's sauna in the podcast? Because I know that you obviously visit here to use sauna. Part of your recovery, I'm assuming you actually use saunas quite often.
Yeah, I do. So I probably started when you, let me use your facility for the last 2 or 3 years now. So after every session, I've got kids, so I usually come at like 7 o'clock at night doing my weights, and then always finish with a sauna in this very one. So I've spent a lot of time in here, and it's just great. It helps me sleep, and
it's definitely awesome to sleep. And look, mate, thanks for joining us today. You touched on family, so congrats on Rosie.
Yeah.
So Max and Leo are now older brothers.
Yeah.
So how's the family? How's Core? How's it all going?
No, it's going good. The 2 boys, they're quite close in age, so they're quite.
It's only a year separating you, mate.
Yeah, about 19 months. Yeah, So they're quiet at the moment. Bit of confrontation.
Who do they take after in terms of the parent? Is it more your side?
I don't know. They're pretty naughty. I wasn't the. I was pretty naughty growing up, so I probably deserve it. But they're just good. They're good kids. Yeah. Like, at heart, they're great. And Rosie, she's 6 months now, and
you're saying she's how heavy was she? She's
ahead
of the game.
Kilos.
Is she ahead of the game?
Yeah. She was born at 4.4, so she's a big baby.
Yeah, awesome. Taking after dad.
Yeah, she's really happy and nice and chubby, which is so cute.
Awesome. So let's get into a bit of your child. I want to go back. Obviously, everyone knows your footy story, which is quite an impressive story. But let's go back to you played at Sorrento, Duncraig as a junior. So was that the only club? Were you a country boy at all? Or was it you were always a Perth boy?
Always a Perth boy.
Yeah.
I've spent a bit of time up north, just holiday house in Kalbarri. But always. I grew up in Hillary's.
Yeah.
I think I started with Whitford's Junior Football Club.
Yeah.
Not sure why, but I changed to Sorrento Duncraig, and actually just the other day signed up my kids to Sorrento Duncraig for the
exciting.
So
exciting.
Getting back there.
Those young boys have a bit of a weight on their shoulders, I reckon, taking after the old man. But obviously, are they your position when you were playing? Always a forward.
Yeah, like back in the day, like I grew quite early.
Yeah.
So I was ruck, mid, forward. Yeah, never really backline.
Okay, awesome. Now, also, obviously, aside from doing juniors, taekwondo.
Yeah, sports-wise.
Sports-wise, yeah.
Yep.
So, how long did you do taekwondo? I think most people know that you're a black belt.
Yeah. So my dad that was his job for 30, 40 years. He was a taekwondo instructor.
Is he still doing it?
No, he's given it up. So obviously it's in the family. So I think even my mum got a black belt. My 2 oldest sisters got a black belt, and my other sister got to about yellow or blue, and it wasn't for her.
Yeah.
But a family of black belts basically. So don't come and rob us, sort of thing.
I was going to say that's impressive, eh? Do you think? Obviously, you're known for your on-field, like I guess not theatrics, but the way you sort of get up off the ground. Is that attributed to those earlier years? Do you think? Like, do you think taekwondo's helped you become a better footy player?
I definitely reckon, because part of taekwondo, you've got to be able to kick people in the head.
Yeah.
So in terms of my hip range and flexibility and durability, which I've been pretty lucky with injuries.
Yeah, we'll talk about injuries in a minute about last season, but yeah.
But durability wise, I definitely things that other guys lack in flexibility and stuff like that, I probably had an edge on them. So that definitely helped me.
And how long did you do? How long did you do it for? How long were you?
Well, it's your dad running the class, and so I'd start when I was 3, 4, 5, but I actually started probably when I was 6, 7, 8. I think I've got my black belt. I can't remember now. I would have maybe been 13. So it takes a while to
it's
there.
A good 7, 8 years.
Yeah, putting the work in.
Yeah, nice. We'll touch on injuries now. I think obviously last season was obviously not a great season for the club, but I don't think a lot of people know exactly what you went through last year. So let's touch on that. So I know we sort of discussed pre-potty that we know that you had the broken arm, and you were also saying you had a T4 process fracture.
Yeah, spinal.
Yeah, spinous process.
Yeah,
spinous process fracture. And you also had shoulder issues. But let's start with the arm. So you knew you broke the arm during the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what I think you played on, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't have a great start to that game, and I think my man was getting best on ground, so
Yeah.
I wanted to stay out there and just help the team out with rotations as well. And
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure. I mean, I could feel something moving in there. It felt like such an accident where I was like, surely that's not how you break an arm.
How did it happen
I
again?
don't know. I just got shoved and then put my arm out to protect myself.
Yeah.
And another opponent, I think it might hit his hip or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that wasn't in my head the way you break an arm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like it was pretty.
It's not a high, forceful sort of action, I guess. But
Yeah.
so you obviously played the rest of the game, and then what happened from there? So basically, you obviously had the scans.
Yeah, I had scans, a couple of scans because they're not really sure.
Yeah.
I had to get a few scans, and then it was like, oh look, it could just heal, or you can get surgery and it'll probably heal quicker because the plate will actually keep it really nice and close and secure.
Yep.
With 6 needles in there, or not needles, 6 screws.
6 screws, yeah.
6 screws of the plate.
Yeah.
So yeah, got that done, and then I played 3 weeks later, and
By the way, with a break, it's normally like a 6 week. It's normally like a 6 week turnaround. So obviously you've come back for the team to try and play and try and help out, because I think the team at that point there was a lot of injuries at the time. So I think obviously you put your hand up to try and get back early, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So you come back after 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it was just I was playing. I was in still discomfort, but I think I was wearing a guard as well, which helped.
Yeah.
And it sort of never went away through the whole year.
Yeah.
So with the arm, and I couldn't do any weights like bench press or anything like that. It would just ache when I let the weights go, or even lifting up.
Yep.
But yeah, at the end of the year, I just thought I'd get surgery and it'll be out and it'll be healed. I got surgery and it was still fractured. So
Wow.
because don't want to dob in the surgeon, but the surgeon actually put the screw too close to the fracture site, so it actually came loose and it was just in the fracture site. So that was that discomfort I was feeling with lifting up weights and putting weight on my arm.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a bit of a shock. So I had to have 2 more surgeries in the off season.
Yep.
One to remove that 1 screw and a bone graft.
Yep.
And the second one was to remove 6 to 8 weeks later.
Yeah. Wow.
Was to remove the rest. So I only got in contact in February this pre-season.
Yeah. Wow. And then obviously during all this, when was the upper back? When was the spine?
Oh, that was towards the end of the other, probably the last 6 weeks at least. I think it was right when my GPS was.
Yeah.
So I think pretty sure I got a good knee in the back.
Knee in the back to that.
And it's just
Because it's pretty hard to, like, I've been working in
Yeah.
footy for a long time, and I've never heard of anyone breaking something like a T4 high up in the spine.
I've had a lot of people jump on my back over the years, like Nick Nat Nui and Liam Ryan. But this
Yeah,
one must
big
have
Nick
been-
Nat's he's a big boy to hold on your shoulders.
Yeah. But I think it was Ruckman from North Cherry or something like that. But good knee in the back, and that was one where you just play through, and when you bend over for a ground, you could hear it sort of click out and click in, but you just got through, and it wasn't like, I remember Tom Brass had quite a dangerous spinal one.
Yeah.
It was outside of your spine, still
Yeah,
spine,
okay, so it wasn't close to spinal cord,
and all
it
that.
was just sort of on the outer side, yeah.
So there was not too much risk.
But still,
Yeah.
and then you had the shoulder in, so
yeah, it was
shoulder was it early in the season?
that was. I reckon that was probably my first or second game back from my arm.
Yeah.
Went for contest and just got twisted underneath, and ended up being a AC grade 2 or something like that.
Yeah, wow. So, mate, to be out there is obviously, it's impressive, like, to be out there for the entire season as much as possible with carrying 3 reasonably significant injuries. I don't think a lot of people appreciate sort of what some of the boys and yourself sort of, I guess, go through
Behind the scenes,
which everyone likes to be a bit of a keyboard warrior, but that's an impressive, to get through a season like that is awesome. One thing I also like about you is we've done a bit of work together over the years, and you're dialed in with your nutrition. So
Most of the time.
obviously, I know that when we were doing skin folds in the off season, like I remember taking some skinnies around the ab region, and you were like, it was to the effect of, look, if I think it's under 12, or if it's around 12, I need to sort of pull my head, 12 millimeters that is, I need to pull my head back in, and we'll recheck in, say, 3-4 weeks' time. And I think you went away, and I think we redid them again, and like you were sort of where you wanted to be. So obviously you know your body very well.
Yeah.
From a nutrition standpoint, I think me and you have a very similar philosophy. I think that's why we sort of clicked early days. So just maybe for the people who are listening, like especially the young athletes who are sort of up and coming, all players should enjoy themselves in the off season, and that is literally a time to mentally freshen up, and enjoy yourself and have a couple of beers and that's, you're fully paid professionals, but you need to have that. So what does off season look like? So let's go to your favorite. What's your favorite cheat meal? Well, I don't want to say cheat meal because that's sort of implying that you should be eating it, but what's your favorite go-to meal that you like to sort of have during the off season? And then when it is time for you to kick in gear to prep yourself for an AFL season, what changes?
Yeah. So probably we'll start with the meal. Probably a chicken palmy.
Chicken palmy, the old classic.
Not parma, palmy.
Palmy, yeah, the old palmy.
Chicken
Yeah,
palmy.
yeah, good. Do you have a place? Do you have a place, or is it just a general, just anywhere?
Just a general.
Just general palmy.
Yeah, I'm not too picky or fussy sort of bloke.
Yeah. And are you getting chips on the side? Are you salad?
Yeah, chips. Salad, mate.
Are you a chicken salt man?
Not really.
Not really. Gravy, just general salt.
Yeah, just put cheese and some ham on top.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah. That's awesome.
Tommy sauce with the chips.
Tommy sauce, extra Tommy sauce. My best mate's all about extra Tommy sauce. Are you just standard Tommy sauce, or are you the extra kind of guy?
Nah, you probably get the extra sauce from the palmy, I reckon.
Yeah.
So
Love that. Yeah. All right, that's awesome. And then, so kicking into gear. So when you know your times to roll into a prep phase, what changes?
Yeah. So I think. Not most people would know, but you probably have 2 to 3 weeks off legs post the season. Oh, that's really hot.
That is really. Do you want the towel there?
Nah, sweet. This is hot.
Yeah.
So you're 2 to 3 weeks off legs, and then you sort of just go into a slow build. Like it's easier to maintain your fitness than to go like this and that.
Yeah,
because that's when injuries happen. So it's good to stay relatively fit and keep everything in tuned. So I love going away in the off season.
Yeah. Where'd you go this off season? Previous?
Good question. Oh, this one wasn't.
You were Europe? Did you go to Europe?
No. So the last couple of years has been like Vietnam for a month.
Oh, that's right. It was
Tassie for a couple of weeks, and then I think we had a daughter in September, Rosie. So
of course,
I think we'll just Dunsborough, and we're actually in the Gold Coast and Noosa as well.
Yeah.
Theme parks for the kids. So getting away is really important. Thing about AFL footballers, they like routine, but obviously everyone needs to chop out.
Yeah, of course.
Like I get pretty stale at times.
Yeah.
So I love a change of routine as well.
Are you someone who struggles with that? Like I struggle without a routine, and I struggle without that sort of, checkpoint or end goal or sort of key dates. Are you pretty consistent or like?
Bit of both, mate.
Bit of both.
Yeah. Bit of both, mate. There's a bit of I don't know what you call it, but when you've been doing the AFL system for 14 years, you do feel like a bit of a change up, or you've seen...
Oh, mate, because you were drafted 2010.
Yeah.
So, all right, so 14 years...
From West Perth.
From West Perth, the great club. Yes, by the way, we are two games up, so 2-0. Beat Claremont, which is always handy, and then we got over Perth quite comfortably on the weekend. So we're looking forward for Super this weekend, hopefully 3-0. So go back to what changes from a food standpoint. So off season, you're sort of enjoying yourself. I think, you're someone who likes to really sort of reduce the refined carbs.
Yeah. So my biggest thing is if you even during the year, you probably don't. You're not going to die if you don't have a big pasta a night for a main session where it's only 6-7 k's. You've got enough stores in your body to.
I couldn't say it better myself. Yeah. It makes me proud. It's good.
Yeah. So you don't need a carbo load much during the year. I mean, so when I've gone through phases, so I've gone through a phase. We do DEXAs now.
Yeah.
I've gone through a phase of my DEXA. If anyone knows, it was like body fat was a 7%.
Yep. That's lean.
That's lean. Yeah.
That's lean.
That's probably Langer's.
That is Langer's lean. That's There's some people who are just like Greg Clark was similar.
But I felt really good on that. Yeah. But it's really hard to maintain mentally as well.
Yeah.
But now I'm in a healthy range of 10 or 11, which is
perfect.
Which is still,
mate. That's elite. So what type of foods, what are you doing week to week to sort of manage this? Like, is it so you talked about not having the big pasta meals obviously before main sessions. Like, what would a typical dinner?
Yeah. So when I was really on the low, I guess it's a lower carb, higher natural fat sort of diet. For dinner, I like salmon and even if you have like a little bit of carb with sweet potato or something like that. Lots of veggies like broccoli and.
What's your favourite cut of meat? Are you a meat eater?
Yeah, absolutely I am.
What's your favourite cut? Is it Scotch fillet?
Yeah, Scotch fillet, I guess.
Scotch fillet porterhouse.
Mess around with the bone, the T-bone. Went out to Squire's Loft the other night and Scotch fillet. Can't go wrong. But so for breakfast, you'd have your scrambled eggs, avocado, maybe a bit of bacon every now and again.
Yep.
It's just funny. So a green smoothie with tons of greens, banana.
Yep.
And for snacks, people get peckish and they feel like something a bit naughty.
Yeah.
So I'd make like my own raw balls.
Yeah.
With almonds, cashew.
You're making your own at home, eh?
Yeah, almonds, cashew.
Courtney or you? I was going to clarify.
Well, me.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, me. Courtney's got too much on her hands.
Yeah, 3 kids, yep.
Yeah. So those sort of things, like, they're good options, and that it doesn't leave you wanting to have chips or
binge.
I don't know what some people have.
Yeah.
Don't really want to know, but
is that
just to get you through, and it's a nice healthy option.
Yeah, and
your body can actually use it. Yeah,
correct. And has that evolved over the years? Like, so Jack Darlingham, say 10 years ago, like, what's changed? How do you think you've evolved in that sense since those earlier days?
Yeah, when you're young, like, you can, I don't know, you can eat what you want, can't you?
Get away with it.
You get away with it, and
your hormones are very high, obviously, at that age, which is obviously, which is important.
Metabolism,
The metabolism's very high. I mean, the metabolism's definitely a factor, but I think the hormonal drive that's happening when you're young, especially in your early teens and late teens and early 20s, there's definitely that response for the hormones. It makes it a little bit easier to sort of eat what you want and get away with it.
Yeah.
As I know, and as we get a little bit older, we've got to be a little bit more diligent with for what we eat. So it's good to hear that that's sort of evolved over the years. And so obviously your pre-season normally starts December.
Yeah.
When do you start flicking that mindset across? Is it
probably
start of November? Like,
yeah, probably the last 3 weeks. Maybe more. You're doing everything good, but then you just really, probably 3 weeks when every meal is like, you think, like, as a footballer, you're 24/7. I'm even off, no, not so much off season, but during the week, I'm always thinking about the water, everything that goes in your mouth, hydration. But 3 weeks, and you're just dialing. You're doing everything right, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and usually it sheds off pretty quickly. Yeah.
I think that's important. Like, I think, and the biggest thing obviously is consistency. We hear that a lot. But like watching you train in here, one thing is that very certain is you are wired springy. You are a springy athlete. I'm sure you've heard that.
Springy?
Yeah, I want to say springy. Yeah, maybe you've got a bit.
What is that? That's not me. I can't jump that high. What do you mean springy?
No, you can jump. Like I feel like you're quite explosive. Like you are. I'm watching you play. I think you're an explosive player. Even watching you in the gym when you train, like when you're jumping, things look very easy for you in terms of like how, especially with the jumping side of things. I mean, I could be wrong, but do you feel like you are a type of athlete? Is it something that you've always sort of had, or something that you've built up in the gym? I know gym's obviously a big part of what you do.
Yeah.
So do you attribute that to just general hard work? Is it just a bit genetically wired? We know guys like Petricelli, for example, right?
He's a classic.
He is just wired quick.
Yeah.
Do you feel like is it hard work and a bit of wiring, or do you feel like you've had to work really hard to get, strong and explosive? Because I would say you're explosive watching you play.
Yeah. Probably it's just genetics, to be honest. Yeah. I do what everyone else sort of does in the gym for your legs, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's the program that the Eagles put in place, and but you got some great athletes at the club that are springy, springy, like Bailey Williams. See him jumping.
I know Joshy Rotham's pretty.
Yeah,
when we tested him here, he's quite. His jumping ability is awesome.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Petch is obviously very quick over that sort of 0 to sort of 20 meters, which is awesome.
Tyler Brockman is new to the club. He's fast.
He's quick.
Like, off the mark.
Look out for him, you reckon? Look out for him?
Yeah.
Okay. And then going to the gym. So off season, I see you in here a fair bit. So what is it? 3 days a week in the gym lifting?
Yeah. So I like to come here. It's just a bit of a good change up, just from a mental,
club. Mental freshen up.
Bit of both. Last 3 weeks, probably show your face around the club a bit more, but it's good to come here and it's 3 times a week, and usually I've run in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I would come at night and do my weights and have a
when the kids are down, because I know you're very big on family time, which is obviously very important. So you wait till the kids are sort of in bed.
Yeah, make sure they're all sorted and
tucked in,
and then roll in here sometimes 7:30, 8:30.
You get it done,
and then have some me time.
Yep, let you time. Yeah, that's awesome. And in the gym,
Yep.
favourite exercises you can't stand. Like, run me through a couple of your favourites, and run me through what comes you just can't stand.
I'm not a massive gym person.
Yeah,
I don't.
Which I think is surprising if people look at your physique. Like, they're going to be surprised, I think, by that.
I think, like, growing up, obviously, I've been doing taekwondo. I did a lot of surfing.
Yeah.
Like, up in Calgary, so I would surf every morning, every evening.
Yeah.
So it's probably built the shoulders up.
Yeah.
Surfing.
Yeah.
A lot of paddling. So bench press, pretty good at.
Yep. What's your PR? What's your PR?
145 on the bench.
For one?
Yeah, for one.
That's impressive. Yeah.
But I think this season, coming back from the arm, I got 137.5. But our guy's really strict, so my hips come off the bench. So he gave me
so
135.
Okay, 135. Yeah, cool.
But yeah, coming back, so I'm getting my strength back, which is giving, yeah.
Most hated leg exercise?
Yeah, everything. No, I don't know, mate. Like, I do get a bit of a sore lower back at times, like just an annoying one. It's just always there. So our new strength coach is pretty good at giving me alternatives, like doing a split squat instead of a trap bar. You know, just so you're not in that lean over crouch position.
Yeah, loading the lower back. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. Trap bar was never great. I don't mind. Was it RDLs?
RDLs. Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen your RDLs in here a few times. Yep. That's always good.
Yeah. Nordics is alright.
Nordics are alright.
Yeah.
They're a hated exercise, obviously, but obviously very beneficial for footy players.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, what about so a couple of random questions. So, Spotify playlist right now. What is your most shameful playlist? If you had to like embarrassing playlist, well, I can name mine. Mine's pretty embarrassing as well, but I'm not ashamed to admit that I like Nickelback.
Yeah.
But is there a playlist or an artist or a band that you like that you love that you secretly love that now the whole world's gonna know about?
Yeah. I'm not a massive music guy, so I don't like. I like music, but growing up, like right now, I wouldn't have Spotify on my phone. If I want to listen to music, I'll just put on YouTube and type in like. It would tell me what mood I'm in, like something chilled. Jack Johnson, Ziggy Albert's.
Jack Johnson
goes on.
That's the throwback.
Growing up,
that's the throwback.
Ziggy Albert's of late. And then growing up, you thought you're pretty cool, so I really enjoyed like Eminem, like just all the hip hop.
Eminem's still the goat.
Still going.
Still the best. Can't believe it's still going.
50 Cent, all those classics, and I like the old school songs as well. So I'm never the one on the playlist or in the gym or anything like that. I'm just happy to listen to
what the boys want to listen to.
Yeah.
Was alcohol like obviously?
Yeah.
I remember being like
just enjoying myself.
Yeah, I remember when I first turned 18 playing footy at West Perth. Like you're at that age now where 18's at Barry, where you start going out with the mates, you start drinking, you discover alcohol.
Yep.
Do you think looking back you did that too much? Like you needed to pull? I know that I did it way too much.
Yeah.
I probably look forward to the weekends as a young guy.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back and change that, but I can't obviously.
Yeah.
But is that something similar that you feel as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely reckon. Probably didn't. Yeah, exactly right. I had too much drinking and partying and stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, if I could take that back, I don't know if it would have changed. But as soon as I sort of said to myself, as soon as I get drafted, like I'm gonna give it absolutely everything. Yeah. So that was sort of like when you get to a club, it doesn't matter what pick you go or whatever happens. What do you do now?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
so,
and that's good.
I just committed like 100%, like all eggs in the AFL basket, and
and you've had obviously an amazing career, and obviously 2018 was a highlight. 2018 is obviously the biggest. I'm going to assume for you that's probably one of the biggest moments of your AFL career.
Yeah.
But is there any other moments throughout juniors, like West Perth time, Eagles, any moments that stand out for you that are really pivotal in who you are today?
That is a tough question.
If you want to talk about 2018, obviously you can talk about that. We obviously know how that ends. That's obviously a great game.
I'd probably say becoming a dad, to be honest.
Yeah.
I started playing some good footy. I don't know what it was, but I think it was 2017 in June.
Yeah.
Had a good rest of the year.
Yeah.
And then, then 2018 and then 2019, we're just in a sweet spot.
You went All-Australian 2019, didn't you?
Yeah, I was just in a sweet spot, and
Do you think that's because there's something bigger than you now, and like, there's more? Is there more sacrifice? Is there like, are you playing for more? Like, can you put a finger on what happened there? You reckon?
No, not really. But yeah, it definitely changes you. Yeah, definitely. Like, even like you're just more selfless, like in terms of in the morning, and that comes with diet as well.
Yeah.
Like I got 4 or 5 mouths to feed, and I probably put them first. Yeah. So like, make Leo his chocolate muesli, make Max his porridge, can't feed Rosie.
You can't feed Rosie,
But get the missus a coffee in the morning, take it up to her, and then it's like, all right, what am I going to eat? It's like, we've got to leave the house in 10 minutes. I haven't showered. Yeah. So it's sort of like, the diet stuff. It's harder when you have kids. Yeah. But I guess if you're organised, you can do it. But usually my go-to is just like a couple of boiled eggs or something like that, or eggs in the morning.
Yep.
And then hydrate.
Yeah, nice. So obviously this year, the boys, it's going to be a tough year again, but I think the boys are slowly chipping away back. Cliche, it's a cliche answer, I guess, but obviously for the rest of the season, you boys are going to try and wrap up a few wins. What's the general feel? I'm assuming it's like relatively positive at the club. The boys are trying to get around each other as much as possible. Yeah. What's your sort of outlook on the next sort of 15 or 16 games like?
Yeah, so just touch on last year, like we were losing games, but we had belief every week. It's like, oh, we're a chance here. Like, if we play our way, you know, we had belief that we'd win. Wouldn't always happen.
Of course.
But we did win a couple of good games, and but and this year, that unity's probably grown.
Well, people generally grow through adversity. Like when you go through adversity together, I think the group generally galvanises a bit more. So
there's barriers are probably knocked down. Seeing each other and, you know, different. It's all good when everything's all happy and
of course.
Blah, 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 but when you're down and you're probably closer, you probably open up a bit more, perhaps. Confident. I feel like I feel like climbing up that ladder like quicker than what most people might say. Close on the weekend.
Close on the weekend, which is good.
But we've got a nice, good group, and Yowie and Gov and, you know, TV, Duggo, they're all going pretty well. I've got to do a bit better, but
coming off the year you've had, like obviously last year was very interrupted in terms of injuries. Does that tap any confidence a bit? Like obviously with injuries, like when you go out and play?
A little bit. I mean, I did this pre-season. I was in the yellow hat, so no contact till I think it was February, mid-Feb perhaps. And then I played a bit of a scratchy game. I did for 20, 30 minutes, and I was getting kicked 3 or 4, and then I did my hamstring. It's a hot 40-degree day, and did my hammy, so that put me out for. I missed 3 or 4 practice games against, you know, internal scratchies, and then the Freo game, and then to come back and play Adelaide, and then a bye, and then to round 1. It's sort of not the ideal prep.
Of course,
Not having to be able to do contest work for a lot, and then just the fitness and the confidence in the body. But I feel like the last couple of games, I'm moving a lot better. And excited to see what I can produce.
Awesome. Now, it's getting hot in here, but hydration, what are you using for hydration? Are you someone who just drinks water? Are you chucking sodium tablets into your water bottles on game days or pre-game days? Like, what do you do for a hydration standpoint? Is it just Gatorades or...?
Yeah, back in the day, I would just water. Just water.
Now?
Now, there's so many new things probably now. Like you can put hydrolyte powder in your water and... There's always Powerade and Gatorade and stuff there, but...
What's your favourite halftime snack? Do you take your own food? Are you just taking like the loaves at the club? Like, what do you have?
I used to bring one of those raw balls. And
are they fully packed with carbs? Those ones, are they carb ones or are they fat ones?
Fat ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but now I don't know, a couple of lollies. Sometimes a gel. But not heaps.
Cool.
Like just water, basically.
Nice. Well, mate, look, we've been here for 32 minutes. I know you're playing Richmond this week, and we don't want to cook you.
Just because you're struggling, mate.
Mate, it's getting hot in here. Are you not hot? You're obviously getting hot.
The one at the club goes to 90.
Yeah, that's a traditional sauna. So this is only at 60, 61 at the moment, so pretty comfortable.
I'm happy to keep chatting, mate.
Yeah, good. We'll wrap up in a minute or so. I guess, is there any sort of parting words? We sort of touched on it briefly before, but any other advice, I guess, to young athletes who are listening? Obviously, I know you sort of mentioned that, I guess, once you get the opportunity, take it and really dedicate yourself to the craft and get better. Is there anything else that you would sort of play? Like, is it something to do? Is it getting in the gym early? Is it focus on nutrition earlier? Is it play different positions? Like, what other advice would you give to...
Oh, it's so hard.
It is. It's a lot,
because I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a... You know,
I think it's important to
mention. I don't have any whatever, but I don't have a lot of wisdom to, you know, a one-liner that will say everything.
Yeah, of course. No, I don't think anyone does.
But if you just believe in yourself, like if you've got that inner voice, just commit. Don't listen to what anyone says. If they take the mickey out of you or anything, just commit to whatever you're trying to do.
And what is life after footy? Do you have any idea? You started a 5-year contract in 2019, 2020?
Yeah, something like that. So I'm out next year. So hopefully 2 more years of footy, and then hopefully get a couple of 1 years. Yeah, a couple of 1 years, after that, do you have any idea, like, what's your... Obviously it's pretty early to talk about it, but do you have any passions that you want to pursue? Yeah, mate, I don't love it, but like, because I haven't really done it, but I'm interested in, like, the guys I work with at the club, so like coaching, like being a forwards coach? Yeah, like be a role model, or, you know, I'm pretty good in the one-on-ones, relationships, that sort of stuff. Not the loudest. Not all the time, but you're quietly confident. Yeah, quietly confident, and I get enjoyment out of helping people, and I think that will fulfill me a bit. That's what you need to get out of bed. And have a purpose. The other thing is cliche as, but I just want to be happy and have a good relationship with my my kids and wife, and just work on that.
Yeah.
And then a bit of work on the side, but on the side, and maybe the missus can work, and just mainly live my life, and don't work too much.
Don't work too much. Enjoy the small things of life. Enjoy
the
family.
That's what it's all about for me.
Well, mate, obviously,
relationships.
Mate, you're an all-round great guy. Thanks for coming on board today. I know I can't believe this is your first potty, so I'm honoured. I appreciate that. We'll obviously get you the draft before we release it, but I just want to say a huge thank you for coming and doing this. It's been 35 minutes, and I'm going to tap out, and I think I need to tap out for you. I'm not tapping out for me. I'm tapping out for you because you got to play. You got to play in 2 days. And I want to make sure 3 days. I want to make sure that you're good to go for that. So, mate, appreciate you coming on.
Yep.
Thanks for that. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Stay injury free just for us, please.
I'll tell my opponents to go.
Tell your opponents to stay away from you. Mate, and thanks for doing it.
Yeah. Good.
Awesome.
Thanks for all your support.
No worries.